Hello students, welcome to the Samveda e-learning classes, Social Science, Class 8, Sociology subject. My dear students, in the today's class, we are going to learn a Sociology second chapter, that is culture. What is culture? So, culture is a concept which cannot be defined very easily, children. Yes, because the culture is the word has adopted in-depth meaning. My dear students, in this class, we are going to learn about culture, the meaning of the culture, followed by the meaning, nature of the culture, and what are the different definitions given by the sociologists about culture. And not only that, but also the various characteristics, the features of culture we will be able to learn in this class. And also children, the relationship between society and the culture we will learn in this lesson. And finally, the importance of cultural rituals and diversity. Dear children, glance these pictures. There are two different images here. What are the difference between these two pictures? Of course, so one image is representing the animal husbandry here, the other one is human beings. Dear children, in the first lesson of the social science sociology part, we have learnt man and the society relationship. According to Aristotle, the great philosopher, he said man is a social animal. We learnt in the first lesson, children. Of course, man is not only a social animal, but also a cultural being. Culture is part of the human life. Dear students, looking at this image here, you can clearly observe here the difference between these two images, the animals and the human beings here. The human beings are thoughtful, the intelligent one. They have a thinking capacity. They extract the natural resources and prepare the finished products for their daily life. And the major difference here, the human beings have evolved here, and the culture is also evolved stage by stage here, children. Dear students, India is a land of unity in diversity. We have already learnt in various classes. The culture of India is outstanding, children. The culture of India is highly remarked in the Western countries in the world. Variety of the culture India has. Dear students, here is a video which highlights the culture of India. Just for a few minutes, we can watch the video and come back to the class here, children. Followed by that, see, look at here, there is a man, he is asking, what's culture? What is culture? After watching the video, children, you might have come across some of the thoughts in your mind. What is the culture of India? The Indian culture is very different and it is very unique compared to the rest of the world. Culture is like flowing of the river, children. Culture keeps on changing from time to time. Culture is the one of the most important concepts in social sciences, children. One of the most interesting lesson to be studied in social science. In sociological usage, culture specially refers to the social structure and ideas that give meaning to human social structure, while society refers to the social structure apart from underlying values and ideas. Culture and the society, they are inseparable, children. We cannot separate the culture and the society. They are like the two sides of a single coin, children. If you study society, you will also be studying the culture. If you study culture, you will also be indirectly studying about the society. Sometimes the concepts are used synonymously to mean all learned habits, the total ways of life of a social group or a group's social heritage. Although culture and society are closely related to each other, children, we cannot separate the culture and society. Dear students, in spite of learning about all these examples here, now let us come to know what is the etymological meaning of the term culture here. How culture word originated? What is the meaning of culture? What are the different definitions given about culture? Let us study about all those points. The word culture has been derived from the Latin word colere, which means here cultivate or tend. It has been originated in the Latin language. Followed by that, in the medieval history of the word culture takes a different shape here. In the form of the agriculture to indicate the improved yield of sown seeds, the word culture has been referred here agriculture. By the end of 18th and 19th century, it came to indicate the human behavioral patterns. There are different definitions about culture, children. But among that, the one of the most important definition about culture here, that is given by E.B. Taylor, one of the most important sociologists as well as anthropologist, children. He says, what is culture? According to him, culture is that complex whole which includes knowledge, belief, art, rules and regulations, traditions and any other capabilities earned by the human being as a member of society. E.B. Taylor, his complete name Edward Burnett Taylor. By birth he was from Britain. He made lot of contributions to sociology. He lived between 1832 to 1917, children. Followed by him, we have another important sociologist here, his name called Malinowski. Malinowski, well, he defines here the tool created by human being to design his aims of life is called culture. Apart from that, we do have different examples about definitions of the culture, children. According to Linton, culture is the social heredity which is transmitted from one generation to the another generation with accumulation of individual experiences. According to Linton. John Beatty, he says, what is culture? Culture is the way of life which is transmitted from one generation to another generation. Dear children, culture has different types here, but among the types, the two most important types are classified here by one of the very important sociologists, his name called Ogburn. He divided culture into two. One is called the material culture, the other one is called non-material culture. Now, what is material culture and what is non-material culture, children? Let us come to know with the various examples here. The major difference between the material and non-material culture. Material culture refers to the physical properties, objects such as tools used by human beings. Material culture includes all those physical properties that are seen to our eyes. They are known as material culture. Non-material culture, of course, they are including the thoughts, ideas, beliefs, values and all, children. Material culture in depth. What is material culture here? We understand the term material culture here, children, by understanding the physical objects. For example, house, roads, railways, vehicles, pen, table, radio, television, various kinds of the material properties which we use in our day-to-day life. These are all the products of human efforts to control his environment and make his life comfortable and safe. And non-material culture definitely refers to that. These are included non-material objects. For example, religion, art, architecture, thoughts, ideas, customs, value systems, attitudes, knowledge. All these are the different examples of the non-material culture, children. And it is very important. The human behavior has been determined by the culture. Both parts are interrelated with each other. Apart from that, we do have there are different cultures, children. There is a culture called real culture. What is this real culture? Real culture refers to that the culture on which we act upon in our daily life is a real culture. It is that parts of culture which the people adopt in their social life. For example, if a person says that he or she is Muslim, will be when followed all the principles of Islam is the real, and when does not follow is not a real one. Yes, if he says he is an Islamic person, he should adopt all the Islamic principles in his life. Until unless he implies all these principles in his life, he cannot be called a real Islamic person or any other religion with this. It is said real culture. Apart from that, we do have an ideal culture here. After real culture, we have ideal culture, children. The culture which is presented as a pattern to the people is called ideal culture. It should be set an ideal or a model to one generation to the another generation. That is called the ideal culture. It is the goal of society and never achieved fully because some parts remain out of practice here. This culture is explained in books, speeches, etc. My dear children, apart from this, we do have the characteristics of culture here. Culture has characterized by various important points here. Culture is the product of human behavior and gaining knowledge through group. It is a system of learned behavior and set produce some of the salient features of the culture are here. Look at here, a list of characteristics of culture. The important features of culture. Culture is abstract. There is no proper shape to the culture. Culture is social. Culture is present everywhere, children. Every nook and corner of the world. And the next one, culture is learned. Culture means coexistence. Culture is continuous. Culture is diverse. Culture is socially transmitted through language, and culture is shaped. Let us continue with the features of culture here. Among the characteristics of the culture here, children, the first one, culture is abstract. Abstract. There is no shape to the culture. Culture means the lifestyle of a social group, and it is the accepted way of life is carried from one generation to the another generation. Even if we are searching to know what is the abstract of the culture, we cannot come to know very easily here because it is intangible culture. but we can learn about culture here. Already learned the culture of India is one of the enriched culture, children. And more than that, you all know that this year we are going to celebrate the Independence Day, 75th Independence Day of country. In this time, we are going to celebrate Amrita Mahotsava of the Independence Day. The great heritage and the great culture of this country has been displayed through various ways by the government here. Culture includes so many things here. Culture is an attitude, culture is belief, culture is language, culture is customs, culture is rituals, culture represents the behavior here, faith in the religion, food items, art, drama and music. Everything is a part of culture here, children. And culture is social, it remains social everywhere in the society. And culture is not personal. Very important point, children, this is. Keep it in mind. Culture is not a personal. Culture is a social. It is there in the entire society. The entire society has been evolved from time to time here. Culture is also evolved along with the society. It means sharing a community's way of life, food, dress, rituals, living with them is called culture. Hence, culture is social here. Culture cannot be practiced by an individual here. Culture is practiced in the community, entire community. Culture is learned. Another very important point, children. Culture, it has been educated, learned from time to time, from generation to generation here. Culture does not come by birth. Very important point here. It does not come by birth to anybody, to any individual. It is the way of life we have to adopt in our lives, and it is not nature made also. This gets informed in the interactions with various members of the society. In day-to-day life, we come across various people, we interact with the various people in the society. So that makes the culture expanded. See, we can observe in this image, children, there are different types of the cultures practiced in different states of India, including the dress code, dances, art, and various types of the changes are there when it comes to the culture. Continued part of that, culture is learned. It means a child receives culture through the process of socialization. We have learnt already socialization. It is a process where a child is brought up in the society. A child, day by day, in the family, in the school, in the society, it tries to learn so many things here. That is a part of the culture. Behaviors learned through interactions with various people. Discussion is called culture. Children learn from teachers, from elders in the house, and they also learn from friends outside. They learn various things in their life, and that is the way of culture developing. Culture means coexistence here. Yes, children, in the society, in day-to-day life, we need to have a cooperation among ourselves here. The culture teaches all this. If you do not have the cooperation among your neighbors, among your relatives, and it is very difficult to survive for all of us. So therefore, culture provides opportunities to every individual to share his ideas with others. Thus, culture assures sharing opportunities here. This ensures sharing of traditions, values, knowledge, beliefs, and other aspects necessary human existence. Culture is continuous. As I already told you, children, culture is not stopped. Culture was there in the ancient history also, in the medieval period also, even in the modern period also, culture is there. But culture has taken a different shape from time to time. There is a development even in the culture. How the stages, evolution of the human beings took, culture also has been transformed from one generation to the another generation. Every culture grows imbibing new aspects into it. Though art, imagination, rules and regulations get formulated into a complex environment, it sustains itself with a minor changes. Yes, of course, time to time there are some changes in the lifestyle and there are some changes in the rules and regulations of our life. It means culture is not stagnant, culture is, it is a continuous process which is happening in our day to day life, children. The differences is also visible in rural area as well as in urban as well as in tribal societies. The culture, when we try to learn culture here, for example, food habits of the rural area, food habits of the cities here and the tribal communities makes changes here. In food habit, the difference is visible when compared to South Karnataka with the North Karnataka. Another best example, children, here. The food habit of North Karnataka and South Karnataka is different. North Karnataka, you all know that people of North Karnataka, they eat jowar roti. Without jowar roti, their meal is not completed in North Karnataka. But when it comes to South Karnataka, ragi is one of the prominent food in South Karnataka. Ragi is one of the staple food of the South Karnataka. North Karnataka food habit is different and South Karnataka food habit is different. So, culture is different from one place to another place, children. Dear students, here is a video. Not only this, even people living in the same place tend to have a different culture. Achieving unity in this diversity is important here. Of course, there are various diversities here, but in spite of all the diversities, achieving the unity is very important factor for all of us children. Because India is a country which has unity in diversity, and India has the great rich culture, the greatest and the world's ancient culture India has. Culture is diverse. Look at the another important character of the culture. Culture is diverse, meaning here culture changes from one social group to another social group here. It is not the uniform. North Indian culture is different and South Indian culture is different. The eastern states culture is different and the western states culture is different here. different languages are spoken, different food habits are there, different dress codes are there, different customs are there. These are all the examples to understand culture is diverse. Various diversifications we can find in our culture, children. Culture is socially transmitted through language. Language is one of the most important weapon, children, which has transformed the culture from one generation to the another generation here. It is transmitted from one generation to another generation through the medium of language, verbal or non-verbal, through the gestures or signs, orally, in writing. India has more than 2000 languages. Culture is shared among all the social groups, among all of us children here. All the traits, attitudes, ideas, knowledge and material objects like radio, television and automobiles, everything is shared by the family members and the members of the society. All these physical objects are shared by the members of the society. Dear children, let us conclude culture. From the above discussion, we are very clear that each and every society has a culture of its own. Culture is not only a diverse but also unequal here. I said it is not equal, it is not the same everywhere, children. Culture is different from one region to another region, as I told. One corner of the earth, culture is different from the another corner of the earth, but it is found in societies through the world. Dear students, in the today's class, we have learned the meaning and nature of culture, and also we learned the features of culture, relationship between society and culture, importance of cultural rituals and diversity. Dear students, let us solve the exercise of the textbook here. There are some fill in the blanks. Let us complete all these fill in the blanks. Let's see who is going to answer very quickly, children. Fill in the blanks. The first question, culture means, just now we have learned, culture means cultivate or tend. Customs mean aspects of cultural activities, very important, aspects of cultural activities. Dear children, third one, unity in diversity is found in India. Fourth one, multiple relationship is found between culture and society. And the last one, children, culture is the dash of transfer of ideas from one generation to another generation. Culture is the lifestyle of transfer of ideas from one generation to another generation. Dear students, thank you. Myself, Mr. Hemant V. Dalavai, works as a social science resource person, and also I work as the assistant master for the new Cambridge group of institutions, Vijayanagara, Bengaluru. Thank you, children.